Do you operate from your joy center? Is often what I'm asking women in menopause, especially when I'm working with them as clients one-on-one. What do I mean by that? Don't mind me. I'm sitting out here soaking up the sun in Vancouver, Canada, and I'm talking about sisterhood and I'm talking about menopause and all the things we go through in this age. I'm 52. Hi, my name is Tony. I'm 52. I'm working with women in the moments of perimenopause, menopause, and midlife switching. I've created a sisterhood for us all to join, and I offer Velvet Soul Maps where we get clarity on our mind, body, soul, how we're going to move forward, and just get a little vision for that. But I only open a few of those up every month. The sisterhood's what I really want to talk about, because what I think we're not being told is that we get to activate our joy center. We get to work from our joy center. And often when we get to menopause, where like we have hot flashes, we feel crappy, we feel like we're going through a whole new stage of teenage growth. And it's not. We're shifting. We're shifting into a new stage. And because we are human, because we chose human, there are things that just happen. There are things that happen in our life that we deal with and we move through, and some of us move through them easier and some of us don't. Some of us gain a lot of weight, some of us don't. Some of us have better self-control in certain areas, some of us don't. But a lot of us are asking questions. Do we go on hormones? Do we not go on hormones? But mostly, what the frick is happening to us? What the hell is happening to my body? What the hell is happening to my mind? I'm going to give you some examples in my perimenopausal life before anyone talked about this. I was so exhausted. Sometimes I'd be driving home from school when I took my integrative therapy degree, I would have to stop on an hour and a half drive and have a nap. I was so exhausted. I could lay on the floor. So I thought it was just my adrenals. No, I'm positive it was perimenopause. But was anyone talking about that? No. My kids would just sit and wait till I'd find my phone, because inevitably I'd lose my phone constantly. And let's also remember, if you don't know me, I'm Tony. I'm also very ADHD, which is self-diagnosed later in life. So I've got perimenopause, ADHD. Now I'm in full menopause. Well, if we want to get technical, I'm post-menopause, since menopause is the moment when you stop bleeding after a year. But we'll talk about that in another one. But I'm in those stages. And then some people say, well, once you get to this stage, you shouldn't have any more symptoms. I'm still forgetting keys in the fridge. Not as much. I am on hormone replacement therapy now, which I am going to talk about too. Some of us are great candidates for us. Some of us aren't. Some of us don't believe in it. Some of us do. But that's a sisterhood, is coming together and talking about that. It definitely changed my life. But it didn't heal everything, because we have to talk about our joy center. We have to talk about all the things in us that need to be coming forth, because we put so much of ourselves into other people, into finding things, that this is a season to go, what the heck now? What do I do now? Some of us, our children have left. Some of us have fantastic careers, but we don't feel fulfilled. Some of us are still searching for our careers, or we want new ones, or we want jobs, or we want to retire and do, like, everybody's in a different stage while we're in the same stage, if that makes any sense. So I've created a sisterhood. Join the sisterhood. You can become a member. For right now, the membership is only $22 a month. I think I'm going to do it for the first 1,000 people that join. Let's just keep it real, keep it reasonable, and then we'll go from there. We're going to offer courses. We're going to talk. We're going to have discussions. It's all new, and it's evolving. And as you tell me what you want, we'll evolve more. I've got my herbal diploma to add to that. I've got so much integrative therapy, but it's not just about what I can bring. It's about what you guys can bring, so you can feel supported. So I can't wait to talk about that. You can sign up for a soul map reading. I open 44 of those a month, and that's it. That's all I can manage. Sign up for one of those where we're going to do channeling in your cards, and we're going to do book recommendations, and we're going to do aromatherapy recommendations and flowers and all the different things that I see coming forth for you. You're going to get this huge read up and write up, and you can map out where your next steps are. Sign up for that too. But what I really want to talk about is that I see you. I see the things you're going through. I see all of the things that you're working through, because I have worked through them too, and I am still working through some of them, because we have hit this new stage of our life that can be so freaking exciting and so freaking exhausting too, right? Where we're just wondering, if this is you, I see you. You have had those days where you're like, have I lost my mind? Do I have freaking Alzheimer's? I'm mixing up my children's mind. And here's one that happened to me. And I remember when it happened to my mom, And nobody was talking about this. Nobody helped her. No one actually suggested anything for her. When she stopped remembering watching movies, we'd be like, no, you saw that, Mom. And I couldn't get it. And then I hit, I'd say right about 49, 50. I couldn't remember. My son would say, we just watched that episode last week. And now my man would say, Tony, we watched that movie last week. Did we? Well, you're just going to have to sum that up for me. So there's parts of our brains that are like, And I know a lot of you are going to have, I'm not printing this for suggestions. I'm putting this out here to say you're being seen, okay? There's so many things we can add. I've now added magnesium and a lot of more protein. We're going to talk about that. We don't need enough protein. So we're going to get practical about those kind of things. Things you can add, supplements you can add, herbs you can add. What does hormone therapy feel like if you want to consider that? We're going to talk about all those physical parts of our body. But what about that spiritual piece of you that says, I don't feel complete anymore, or I want to try something new, or what is this spiritual stuff you're talking about, or why can't I do this for myself? Like there's so many aspects that are coming in, and our minds have shifted. We're now wisdom keepers, but we might not remember what the heck the episode was last week, okay? So that is very, very important that we start talking about that. But what I really want you to know is I see you. There's a place. I am so freaking determined to get this sisterhood moving that we, as menopausal women, there have been menopausal women since the beginning of time. We need a place where we come together and we say, see me, hear me, I matter, okay? So before I close this, I'm going to often talk about in the membership as we get it going and we get more lives and I start maybe doing some ceremony, because ceremony is so important to ground in who we are. And there's this piece of us that comes from joy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you don't know where your joy center is, I'm going to do this with you right now. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to go to that space in your body where if I say, go to where you love someone in your body. And if you have children, that's usually the best one to pick. If you don't, pick the next person you love the most. So if I say, where do I love my children? I love my children so much. And where do I feel that in my body? Well, for me, it's right here in that core of me, right behind my ribs, right in that gut center. And I say to you all, okay, you don't love that person. I want you to not love that person right now and remove that from your body. You can't do that. You tell me to go take a freaking leap. Because that is safe. No matter what they do, no matter what happens, that can't be moved. Well, that's your center. That's your joy center. That's your love center. That's your grief center. That's where you feel. And nothing can move that. So that's why I can say to people, well, find your joy in it. Because I can have a fight with my partner. My kids can upset me. Something in life, money issues, whatever it is for you. The human piece of you, but the joy doesn't move. The joy remains right there, okay? So we're going to learn to come from there. Every second you stopped and you put your hand, mostly I like here, but you can put it on your joy center. And you just remember where you ground in, maybe you ground in, that's your joy center. And nothing can move that. And that's what we're going to create from. That's what we're going to do all the different things in our life from, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you got this. My man's home, so I'm going to go have a fantastic day. You got this. Join the sisterhood. Sign up for a Velvet Soul Map. I'm here for you. This is my mission. Menopausal women can be frickin' joyful. And let's change the world.